Thank you, Mayor Dan. For anyone that does not have his cell phone number, I do have it and I'm happy to give it out. And he's serious when he says he's there to help. I know I've called him before for something, so hopefully you guys don't have the same problem. With that, I did want to recognize our sponsors. Our sponsors help make the dinner happen, help bring in some extra cash. So the sponsors for tonight are Sahara Home Care. MashaAllah, we see them everywhere. They help a lot in the community. Ilm Insurance, PETA Inn, also MashaAllah, we see them. They're every event. I'm sure Kamran is sick of calling them, and they're sick of hearing from Kamran or others from the community, MashaAllah, but they help with not just dinners, but also, MashaAllah, even when there's food drives, and when there's, in Ramadan, when MCC is delivering iftar to families, PETA Inn always steps up. Their portions, MashaAllah, from what I've seen, are very, very generous when they do anything. Amana Mutual Funds, Iman Funds, ZMA Legal, Zaki, if you're in the house, that would be Zaki for most of them, most of us that know him. Helping Hands Relief and Development, Tiberti and Khan, Zubair Khan, if you're in the house, inshallah. Skokie Dental, who's also one of our friends. Oh, are you Skokie Dental? You don't look like Skokie Dental, but that's cool. Alhamdulillah, Tariq Hafiz, who's also one of our members. So please keep them in mind when you're doing business. Know that, MashaAllah, they give back to the community. With that, I wanted to introduce our two president and vice president. MashaAllah, one of the things that I realized that really shows the diversity of our community is I had a chance to go to Michigan for 6 years while my wife was doing her fellowship there. And when I came back, I noticed a lot of the leadership had changed. And part of that leadership was Sister Khadija, who was part of the PSG, doing a lot of work, and it really goes to our community and the openness that we have. And I always wondered, MashaAllah, how does she have so much time? When I was reading her bio, I saw that she trains people in time management. So, I know for sure that's something that I need help with, so I might be hitting her up for some, training. And she's on, through the last few years that I've been back, it's been over 12 years now, I've noticed that she's on multiple committees and doing multiple things. So really, it goes to show that we are a community that really welcomes people. We've seen that from the diversity we've had on stage. And then our President Kamran, who's ending 4 years, 2 of which, have not ended the COVID dynamic, but really, some of the harder times in our community, to have to make a decision, do you close down a masjid? Do you not close down the masjid? All the uncles that are used to going to the masjid, still being, now an uncle himself, but part of the generation that he grew up looking at, and really disappointing them with the masjid and having to make hard calls. But more than that, I remember Kamran started as the chairman of the library committee way back when he first was in college, and that's what started him. One of the uncles had given him advice and said, just try to do one thing that really you feel like you can make an impact of. And he tried that year to revive some of the books, bring in something new. And now that it came all the way around for him to serve as president, to be one of the youngest probably presidents of MCC from the second generation, really trying to live in the footsteps of his father, who had dedicated his time, MashaAllah, for many, many years. We should just be proud that it's something he was able to do during such a hard time. The only one thing is, I know that when we were little, we used to have suburban versus Chicago basketball, and we all know Chicago always won. Sadly, Kamran was on the suburban side. So with that, Kamran.